Good morning, Nabo Nation, or good afternoon, Nabo Nation. We are back with our WBC meet and greets, and I am super excited to have these two speakers, two people that I know well, and I am so excited to have here on the show. Cathi Singh and Vikita Poindexter. Hello, welcome.
Hey, how are you?
I am going to ask each of you if you could please introduce yourself. Let's see here. What do we want to know about you? We want to know what you'll be talking about. No, actually, not yet. We won't talk about that just yet. Just your name, maybe your business, and what you're excited about for the closing of 2020.
All right, Cathi, I'm gonna let you go first on that.
I was like, I was gonna put them together quick. All right, my name is Cathi Singh. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me. I am a professional makeup artist. I work all over Southern California. I started in film. I primarily work in commercial print, live events when they come back. And the name of my company is Lemon Penny Productions. So I've been very grateful to do that for almost 12 years. And 2020, I got to take a nice hiatus in the middle of that, being that makeup artists couldn't do a whole lot. So I'm excited to see how different parts of the makeup industry are pivoting, and education is becoming a big deal. And so I'm really excited about that second half. I think that'll be really, really interesting.
Awesome. Vikita, that 2020 question was never talked about.
Yeah, that was a hard one. That's why I was like, no, you go first.
I'm still thinking about that answer, by the way.
You go first to talk about 2020.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's so funny. So I'm Vikita Poindexter, and I am the president and CEO of Poindexter Consulting Group. And I am right now the dedicated COVID compliance officer for my firm, Human Resource Consulting, and we've been helping our clients navigate through this pandemic. We're in 7 states, going into our 8th state. I have 12 employees. I'm about to hire another 2. So that's who we are and what we do. Human resources is my passion. I love it. The more complex it is, the more I love it. 2020, I equate 2020 like, to a box of chocolates. You just never know what you get. And so I personally, I just live my life trying to find the blessings in every challenging situation. I believe challenges you can overcome. And so, yes, the pandemic has been interesting and challenging for a lot of people, but, we're having more relationships. We're meeting people that we've never been able to meet before. I'm spending more time with my son than, I call it restored time, right? Didn't get to enjoy him much when he was a baby, but now, that time's been restored. So we're really spending quality time together. So, I'm just interested to see what's going to happen, like that box of chocolate, what's coming up next. Is it going to be with nuts or without nuts?
I love it.
I love it. That's a great attitude.
Yeah. I know. I say that, there's so much about this that we can hate and be upset about, but it's like just looking at, wow. Yeah. Just yesterday, my husband said, "Do you miss traveling?" Because my travel schedule is really crazy. And I said, I don't. That's really wild. And so I've really enjoyed just being home and enjoying my house. And so, well, thank you, ladies, for your 2020 insight. Your curveball. So both of you will be speaking at the conference. And Cathi, I'll start with you. You mentioned something, you said makeup education and showing up online constantly. I know routines are important. How you show up for different meetings is important. I'll be very honest with you. Right next to me is my makeup kit.
I love it. I love you, Margaret.
Because I get to work and I'm like, okay, looking at my calendar, I'm on camera today. Yep. So I'm going to. And I'm being super transparent. I wear these when I don't want to wear any eye makeup. And they are blue light, and I hope that they work for as much as I'm staring at this thing.
But you have to let me know which ones those are. I'm gonna need those soon. Yeah.
But they do help with the whole makeup situation because I need it to be quick. I need it to be impactful.
Yes.
Like Cathi, like she really needs makeup though, right?
Oh my God.
Right?
About, I gotta have makeup. I gotta have makeup.
I honestly think you look perfect right now. You look so beautiful, and I love that you're wearing a leopard. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, thank you. I wore this for you, actually, Cathi.
I love it. If you weren't wearing leopard, it would not feel like a Margaret. This is
no.
I love it. This encapsulates you.
So that's going to be super important. So what are you going to, I mean, without giving away everything, like what are you excited about sharing with women business owners? Well,
the thing I noticed right when my industry went down, which was March, you know, when we really couldn't do anything or touch anything, everything was just so uncertain. I noticed a hole in a community, and I noticed a hole in our makeup community of sharing. And there was a lot more competition, and there is sharing, but there's also a lot of, that's mine, I'm not going to give that up. Oh, I'm back to work, I'm not going to give that up. And I just thought as PPE and started stuff coming out, and people were ready to get back to work, I just started sharing my thoughts and where I was coming from. And it built this instant community of people being like, at least someone's talking about it. And I feel like this virtual thing is a new thing that all of us have been thrown into. And it's not the easiest thing to put this together. To be honest, this is my second virtual. This is my husband's virtual backdrop because my son is using mine. So I think it's just really important for women to share what's going on and realize that we shouldn't be judging our makeup and judging our things. We should just be presentable and finding that community more so than putting on a face and going to work, right? Like I love that you are not wearing a full face and you have glasses on. I think that you look fantastic, to be honest. I think it looks really real. And I think that in sharing all that community stuff and in sharing that in our world, it's come to that people really want to see a real person on camera. That is what I've learned over this entire time. I love that. They want to see me. They probably want to see us in our, in our sweatpants and jammies, which you might see me on sometimes. But they really just want to see an authentic person. And we just want to learn from someone authentic. And so I think that if you're having a makeup day and you just didn't get it on and you just have a hat, I think that if you're still presentable and you're not distracting, I feel that is almost more impactful than putting all the things in the box.
Wow. I love that. That is really awesome. Yesterday we had the NABO Connects. It's basically a giant networking event on Zoom. And I didn't have my camera on, ladies. And because it was not a camera day. But we got into our breakout room and the lady said, "We don't care what you look like, just get on." And you know what I did? I turned my camera on. And it was not what I normally would let people see. But I just thought it was real. It was like, who cares? So I probably wouldn't do a live that way, but
yeah, I think I agree. I think it has a lot to do with your audience too. And who you are most comfortable with being that transparent and that vulnerable too. So I think that as well.
Yeah.
Some people are just not there yet, or their particular businesses, they've got to be well maintained or, for lack of a better term.
Right. Absolutely. Super, super important to know your audience and your brand and all of that. Yeah. I love it. Okay, Vakita, your topic is like super hot topic. Yeah. So of everything you could possibly talk about, what are you talking about at the conference?
Well, we're going to be talking to women business owners about dealing with kids and the whole new challenges that it brings. How do you continue to be a successful woman business owner and navigate through homeschooling, dealing with your adult children now. So for me, it's, going to be very, very interesting and very, very fun. Because, you're dealing with something that typically you wouldn't be doing. Most of these kiddos would be in school. And so just for me personally, I homeschool both of my kids while running a business, being a single parent. So I have to admit, I get kind of tickled sometimes when I see some of the comments and like, okay, yeah. So it's challenging, but you can do it and maintain your sanity, and one of the things that, I really hope to be able to continue to inspire women to be is to know that you can do it, be successful. The kids are not going to suffer. The kids are not losing anything, kids feed off of your energy. And so it's important to they're not going to be failures because they couldn't go to school, this fall or this year. Let's just say this thing. It's not, they're not going to be failures. You'd be surprised on how much more successful these kiddos are going to be. Colleges and universities take homeschool kids before they take your traditional educated children. So because now they're learning independent study. So again, putting a positive spin on it and not viewing it, so negatively. And there may be some adjustments that you have to do as far as your particular schedule and how do you schedule things. And, so we're going to, try to help them navigate through that. And then the older kids, like I have adult children, right? That had to move back home. And so how am I helping him navigate through that? I want to be able to share that, with women as well. So your college age kids, they're back at home. You're used to being an empty nester. What do you do now that they're activating your space? And so it's going to be fun, Hopefully we'll be able to give them a level of peace of mind that, you can do it, can be successful at doing it. The kids are not going to suffer. So it's all going to be.
No, that is the point of view I actually have not heard.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited to hear that. I feel like the kids are going to learn life lessons this year more than school lessons, and I find that so much more valuable, to be honest.
You do, because, you have to think about it. Kids are in school for 8 hours a day. Right? So in between that, they've got, PE and breaks and this, that, and the other. And so typically what you're doing in 8 hours, you can probably condense that down to 3-4 hours or 5 hours. Yes. Getting to spend quality time with your children, you're really getting to get to know each other. I had a conversation with one mom, and I said, "How's it going?" And she said, "It's tough." I said, "Well, why is it so tough?" She says, "Well," and it was just like that. It was dead silent, and I'm waiting to hear, the everything falling apart. So it was so funny. They developed a plan, like the husband's the principal. So, typical is you're going to be sent to the principal's office. But she said, we're spending more time together. We're riding bikes. We're doing things together. We're finding time that we didn't maximize before. So I feel that my children now are being more in tune. They're not all on video games. We're actually spending time together as a family, which me to still run my business and be successful. My kids are learning entrepreneurship. So they're not teaching in the schools. So, I think it's all about the mindset, like we talk about everything else. Like she was talking about the mindset of accepting who you are and what you look like. It's a total mindset. And you have to change the narrative in what you're feeding yourself.
Oh, that's good.
That's super good. I love it. I love it. Wow. Because it's like all we've been hearing is that, kids are going to be behind, and it's like, let's make lemonade. Yeah.
My kid is 6. He's in 1st grade. Obviously, he's not laptop and typing compliant, but in the last 2 weeks, I will say he's learned how to navigate those things. And I find that not that I'm going to let him be on a computer 8 hours a day, but that's a great life lesson that he learned. He learned how to type, and he's taking a typing app. So that's something that would have never happened this year. It's pretty interesting.
That's awesome.
Definitely positives to it. I agree with you.
So these are 2 sessions that we are all looking forward to. I don't want to say Kiara's name incorrectly, but she is a phenomenal coach. I will say that. And she was actually a speaker at your event where I met her at the Navo, California Propel. And I booked a session with her and hope to work with her in the future. But anyway, she posted and said, as a new mom, I'm definitely looking forward to your session, Vikita. So that's awesome. Yeah. But I will say that, okay, so 2 things. These are awesome sessions to miss. And normally in person at WBC, you have to make choices. Imagine these 2 sessions are happening at the same time. You pick and choose. You get to do one, you don't get to do the other. So another, let's make lemonade. You're going to have access to all the recordings of these. So you can go back and watch them, or if you missed something, you can go back. I mean, this is something that we are super excited. Yes, I said it perfectly. And so sorry, I'm reading the comments too. That's why I stopped something out in the middle. But yeah, so these, you will have access to both of these sessions, and all within the virtual environment. So we're very much looking forward to that. If you missed out on our session, our Facebook Live earlier this morning, we spoke with UPS, and it was great. UPS, Deborah Wilson, she talked about how she's not an avid like social media person or virtual person at all. So she was super like skeptical about a virtual conference.
Right.
But she came back with all star-studded reviews on the whole experience. So, and I've been using NABO California as an example. NABO California did the annual Propel conference all online. There have been years where I could not attend it because of schedule conflicts.
Right.
Well, now was it $150 to join with the box?
Yeah.
$150 to join. So I signed up. It was a full day, and I showed up, and we had a blast. Yeah. We laughed. I don't know how we laughed, but we laughed.
We did. It was fun.
We laughed. So we had thought-provoking, we had moments where we were like, oh, wow. I mean, it was awesome. Awesome. And that was one day. And then NABO Los Angeles had their annual conference. Now, remember, there's a difference between a webinar and a conference. And meetingnerd.com taught me that. They schooled me hardcore when it comes to not all virtual events or virtual event. Like, they're not all the same. So a conference is multiple sessions and networking and breaks and all of that. And NABO LA did a great job as well. It was a completely different platform than what NABO California used. So, but it was still amazing. So I am looking forward to WBC. I know that it's going to be amazing.
And that's like what you were saying. I think these virtual conferences give us an opportunity, because I would have never been able to have made NABO LA's conference if it was in person.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't have, but I was able to say, okay, I can just log in and, check it out. And so, yeah, I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I know. This is so amazing. Super.
See, that's one of the blessings of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Huge new opportunities. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was our Facebook Live this morning, and Deborah, and she even said that as a sponsor, that it was an awesome opportunity. So, and even a more amazing perspective. So if you're thinking about sponsoring or getting a booth somewhere, like, it could help. So anyway, okay, well, we have a little more time, and I just want to remind us that the conference theme this year is Brave Is. Our keynote speaker is Glennon Doyle. If you don't know who that is, just Google her and you will find out. She has a New York Times bestseller, Untamed. And if you really want to learn about her, follow her on Instagram, because she is really out there, and she will talk to you, and she just is very open, and she's building relationships with her community, no doubt. And so follow her and join her community. So with the theme being Brave Is, all of us are going to be, it's like brave, like, let's ask ourselves, like, what is brave to me? When have I been brave? So I want to ask you two, whoever wants to go first, what does brave mean to you, and how have you been brave that you want to share?
Vikita, would you like to go first? Or?
No, you can. You can.
I can go first.
You can go first.
All right. I have thought about this a little bit, actually. Okay. And I think for me, it falls back into this virtual world, to be honest. In full disclosure, a few years ago, going live on camera for me was absolutely terrifying. is sweaty palms and jumbling words and really messy. And I think the more you just jump out there and realize that if you're just you and you don't try and pretend to somebody else, but you put yourself in, like, you put it together nicely, that you can really present and you get more and more comfortable. And I think in this new world of virtual and some women not being as comfortable on camera and needing to be on camera, that pivot to change your business into, take it into a new development or a new area altogether, I think is super brave for the women who are doing it. I'm doing it more, which sometimes is uncomfortable. You know, I still get a little bit nervous and I still get a little bit anxious about what I might talk about. And I think that that's completely normal to have a little bit of anxiety because you are live. But I think being brave and supporting your business and being the face of your business and being confident on camera, virtual or in person, I think is pretty awesome to be willing to take your business somewhere new.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. So I'll just add on to that. I think being brave for me personally is just being who you are. You know, I kind of like the phrase that Nike says, just do it. You know, I think just being very transparent with who you are and accepting who you are, and being a risk taker. I mean, I'm a risk taker by nature. You know, I started my business out of tremendous adversity. You know, my kiddo wasn't expected to live to be 10, and I had to choose between corporate America and being a mom. Well, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to be a mom. Very difficult in order to do that and start a business where, you know, you're leaving a 401k, a guaranteed salary, medical benefits, you know, and you got to, you know, do it on your own. But for me, I've always been one of those that kind of just jump out of the boat and then, you know, look for the life jacket after I'm in the after I'm in the water. And I think a lot of women have that same mentality, but sometimes we allow fear to limit us on what we want to do. So being brave is just taking the risk, you know. In my world of HR, I also hear people say, well, I don't want to hire employees. Well, okay, then why? What's preventing you from doing that? What's preventing you from growing your business? And so it's the fear of failing or you know, the fear that, you know, they're going to be sued or this, that, and the other. Okay, so you're going to get sued. I mean, it's not the first time somebody's gotten sued. You'll survive it. But you can't live in fear when you're trying to grow your business, start a business, and things like that. I mean, I've had the fortunate blessing of meeting a lot of women virtually that I probably would not have met. And to hear some of the stories, like they've left corporate America to start their business and they were paralyzed with fear. To me, that's bravery. You know, you're educating your kids, you know, because you don't have a choice, you know, as a result of this pandemic or for medical reasons. I mean, that's being brave. I think when I look at brave, I just look at women. I mean, that we're celebrating the 19th Amendment to vote. Women were brave to say, no, we're going to continue to fight. We're going to march. We're going to protest until this gets done. To me, that's being brave. So I'm elated to be a part of, you know, the Nabo tribe and the sisterhood with all the brave women sitting here on this Facebook Live with the two of you. You know, Margaret was brave. You know, she dealt with COVID herself personally, but she persevered through it. You know, she didn't allow it to define who she is. That's bravery. You know, so you just don't let a set of circumstances dictate how you're going to live your life. To me, that's bravery.
Yeah, I love that. Love it. I know. And you think about the NABO membership at large, starting a business right there. Like if you don't have anything to say that you've been brave on, if you've started your own business, that's it.
You started a business. Yeah, that's brave.
Right. Or the women that have started their businesses is that as a result of the pandemic, things happen.
Yep.
You know, our new word is pivot, and then they pivot into doing something else. It's like, okay, because you're an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. We call them serial entrepreneur. And you pivot. So, I mean, that's bravery.
It really is. It is. I love it. And this is all mindset. It's like,
it is.
You know, not thinking that you have to be status quo, that you have to go, you know, because who's making those rules anyway?
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's like no one wants to follow them. So who made them?
Right. Make your own rules. Make your own rules for your own life.
Absolutely. I love it. I think the older I get, the more, because I think when you are, you know, when you have a little less experience at life too. You want to make sure that you're, you know, going with the flow. But then once you come into who you are, it's like, no, you know, I'm respectfully going to do it this way.
Right.
Right. And so I love it. This is so awesome. This has been.
Well, I just have to correct you on one thing. So first of all, we are not getting older.
Yes. No.
We're getting more mature.
Yes. No.
It's like wine. The older it gets, the better it gets. So we are not getting older.
No. No.
Just more
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm turning 40 this year and I am shouting it from the rooftops. I am excited. My mom always told me that your 40s are amazing and my 30s were amazing. So I can only imagine what life just gets better. We are maturing.
That's it. That's it.
There
Yeah. And I'm really, really excited. And that's, yeah. So I'm trying, that's kind of the narrative that I'm changing right now, because when I tell people that I'm turning 40, they're like, what? Oh my gosh, you don't look, it's like, what is 40? This is what 40 looks like.
Right.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's a good one.
You know what I mean? Like at 40, I still like, I don't know, like what was 40 supposed to be? We all have like this idea like of what you think it's supposed to be. And it's like, for me, it's still like beautiful stationery that I collect. You can see these hexagon mauve Post-its.
It's so funny.
I love it.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So anyway, this is so awesome. Everyone, if you were wondering what we're doing here, if you just tuned in, we are NABO. We are talking about the NABO conference, the annual conference that is 100% online. You can register at nabo.org. The cost is $195 for members, $250 for non-members. And this is about half the cost of what it normally is to go in person. So this is like this is like uncharted territory in the fact that like it's so accessible. Show up, be brave, right? Be brave.
Right. Show up. Yeah. Just show up.
Just show up. If you don't know anyone, it's okay. You know us.
Yeah.
Right.
You can say hi to us. We'll be your friend.
And like you said, you don't need any makeup.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Just come as you are.
Yeah.
Be confident in your space.
Right?
Yeah. And or if you want to come dazzled up, come dazzle. How do you feel? Like whatever you need to be that day, or it's several days. So it's 2 days plus the annual meeting, which is kicking off the conference on Monday. And that meeting is really an awesome time to really get to know what NABO is all about.
Right.
NABO is not just your local chapter. Right. There is a national membership that you are a part of with a local experience. And here in California, we also have a state experience because we have 11 chapters, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The great thing about the WBC that's being held virtually, like this is unprecedented. And so it is be phenomenal. And then just think when we're able to get together to meet again, right? Mm-hmm. How fun is it going to be when we're able to go back to in person?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the experience that you're having virtually will, it'll prepare you for the excitement that will take place when we're able to meet again. So start making those connections now with your sisters across the globe that typically you may not be able to meet or would not have had that opportunity to meet unless you're in person. Now you can virtually. I've met so many women that if we were in person, I probably wouldn't even be able to meet.
Yes.
Because we've been virtual.
That's such a greater reach.
Really authentic relationships, right?
Yeah.
So you got to take advantage of it.
And not to mention too, Vikita, like just the one-on-ones, like virtual coffees and stuff, that we would never be able to have this many meetings.
No.
Because one meeting in Southern California is all day long.
Yeah.
No. You have to plan.
Yeah, you have to plan the whole day. And so it just doesn't work. So I love that. Cathi, do you have any final words you want to leave us with?
I'm enamored. It's a gift to be around such vivacious women who have so many goals and are such go-getters. I'm just in a happy place right now. I don't know, watching you guys and listening to you talk. It's really, really nice to be around such a great community. I really look forward to the conference, actually.
Yay.
Yeah.
Awesome. What about you,
And
Vikita?
helping everybody with their virtual presentation. I have a lot of ideas. I'm doing do's and don'ts, so it might be a little fun and funny too.
I'm sure it will.
Props, guys. I'm gonna bring you props. I got lots of props.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your conference. Your session at the conference, and congratulations on homeschooling your kiddo.
Oh, thank you.
He's going to do so great. For me, I was looking forward to the entire conference. I was a little bummed because the virus hit and we couldn't be in Texas.
Yeah,
that's my hometown. Couldn't get my famous Whataburger. There's priorities in life if you're in Texas. Couldn't go see my beloved Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Well, most importantly, couldn't hang out with my novel sisters. But I'm looking forward to the conference. We always have a great time, no matter where we are when it comes to WBC. So I know this is not going to be any different. I'm actually looking more forward to it because I will be able to connect with, sisters across, new novel sisters that we may have seen in passing at the conference, but not really be able to have some dialogue. It's amazing when you have these virtual conferences, how you can begin to have dialogue and set up one-on-ones and kind of get to know each other, so then we are able to meet in person. It's like, hey, let's set up this time. I'm flying in at this time. You're doing this. And so now you're able to bring all of that together. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I was thinking about that yesterday, Vikita, about how you can normally see or, touch just for a second,
Right.
people. Like I know Mary Kravitz, I see her at every event, but because we know each other so well, I never stop to have a coffee with her or anything because I want to meet other people.
Right.
And she feels the same way, so but this way it's like we're meeting so many more people, and also people who never have before are going to be participating.
Right.
And that's going to be exciting too. So I want to give this as a call out to the Nabo Nation, like who show up for everything, who have a presence in Nabo. If you see someone new, extend your hand, ask them what do they do? Who can you connect them with? Or what do they need? Remember, Nabo, we're not a network. We're not a business card passing organization, although a lot of business is done. That's just the way it is because you build relationships and people do business with people that they know, like, and trust.
That's right.
That's Nabo. But we are here to build relationships and to rise together and to help and lift another person up as you begin to rise.
Right.
So, but business is done, and just make those connections.
I think we're more closer and more intimate now.
Yeah.
I think this pandemic has brought us closer. We're more intimate. We're more intentional, where we're flying through the airport, trying to grab a bag, got to check into the hotel, got to show up here, got to do that. And I go in my kitchen, grab my cup of coffee, my glass of water, and sit down and have a conversation with a novel sister. I think the pandemic has brought us closer as a nation. And when I talk about nation, I'm talking about novel nation. Let me be very
Time is taken on a whole new aspect. Time management.
Yeah.
Much more valuable than it ever was. And we thought it was valuable back then.
before
a pandemic. It's a different way now.
That's so true. That's so true.
It's so much more valuable.
But on that topic, and we don't have to go any deeper, but as a bipartisan organization where we are solely focused on helping women business owners, small businesses, the Nabo Nation is closer. And I can imagine there's people that think all different ways and have different opinions on so many things, but yet we come together to support small business and to support women business owners. I think that's pretty phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, this was awesome. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Yes.
Okay, we are going to end this session, but you can rewatch it. You can connect with us by commenting or sending us a message, social media at nabo.org if you have any questions, or just register for the conference at nabo.org. We will see you there and talk to you soon.